he would prefer rather calling him a freedom fighter than a soldier for the government that he once served and fought for. This is none other than retired Major John Kazoora, born on the 4th of August 1958, raised up in Rutoma, Kashari, Mbarara district. Kazoora grew up in a family with strict parents.
He had all sorts of chibokos, from a cane made out of a hippo skin or a cable.
He attended Mitoma Primary School before joining Kazoora Secondary School for his O and A level, another school that he says groomed him.
And mark you, it is called Kazoora School. If you want to offend an alumni of Kazoora, call Kazoora Secondary School. It's a crime.
At Kazoora, he attended school with some of the top government officials and those in the army.
There was David Tinyefuza. There was Kajara. There was Commander Bataringaya.
After secondary school, he joined Makerere University where he pursued a bachelor's degree in political science. While there, he was voted the chair of Nkrumah Hall.
My predecessor was Stephen Karangizi, who was a Mnyankore also. Yeah. And then students were saying, but how can two Banyankore successful leaders at that level? For people to start looking at ethnicity, at tribe, it's a cancer that has bedeviled our country.
Just before graduation in 1982, Kazoora and 3 of his friends set off to the bush as freedom fighters, and he narrated to me the ordeal of this very decisive moment.
They took all our belongings from us and they put Kavera down, and it had rained. It can be wet. And of course, we just slept.
Like any parent, Major Kazoora's mother received the news of his son's intention of joining a guerrilla warfare as shocking and disturbing.
Because I was approaching graduation, I'm told my mother locked herself in the room and started crying.
The start of the bush war was a nightmare, but the situation got better as time went by, and before he noticed, he had already spent 4 years in the forest with his commander-in-chief, President Kazoora Museveni.
After about 2-3 weeks, they said, Mzee anakuja, Mzee anakuja. They could not say Museveni. He was called Mzee. So in the night, he called us.
After the bush war that brought President Kazoora Museveni in power in 1986, Kazoora was posted as the district administrative officer for Western Region and later posted at Jinja Army School.
As a political commissar of the School of Infantry, some now are brigadiers and colonels and all that. And when we meet, they jerk as if they want to salute me, because at that time I was already a major.
One would think that after fighting, he was a happy man. I asked him one thing he regrets in his life.
The tag of a military rank on my name, it's one I will forever regret, because when we went the bush, I went as a freedom fighter, not as a soldier.
This didn't stop at that. He was further barred from joining active politics, something that angered him so much. But after succeeding and becoming a member of parliament for Kashari, he finally fell out with President Kazoora Museveni and thus joined the opposition.
So they called the leadership of Kashari into Rwachtura to organize against me without telling me. I get crushed at the meeting. Yeah. When Kamjira saw me, he was shocked. He almost got a heart attack. And even Museveni equally was embarrassed. He said, I'm a puppy. That General Muntu and Kazoora puppies. What can they do to me? I call them here in Rwachtura. I give them tea. When they go, they oppose me in parliament. Then I told him that the tea we are taking is not his tea. It is government money, and as a member of parliament, I appropriate money for president's visitor.
To that effect, he crossed to the Forum for Democratic Change, FDC, led by his co-bush fighter, retired Colonel Dr. Kizza Besigye, who also fell out with President Kazoora Museveni.
And on Sunday, I flew to South Africa. I met Dr. Besigye and gave him my support in a new engagement in the politics of Uganda.
As bitterness and anger mounted, Kazoora decided to write history in his book titled Betrayed by My Leader.
I tried to launch it. Most of these hotels were scared. And their idea was, let them take all the copies and destroy them so that I have nothing to launch with.
The book talks about the journey in his life and the regime system in which he served.
I have, however, been overwhelmed because I printed 3,000 copies. As we talk now, after 2 days of the launch, I'm remaining with about 20-something copies.
He does not regret writing this book.
Now, what happened on that day? Soldiers came in army uniform and guns and wanted to storm the club, but they were restricted.
With the role model in his life as his own mother, he explains how he likes to be remembered.
He made a moderate contribution to his country and mankind, and later was disappointed by my leader.
This picture shows him during his first marriage to Grace Kameraho, who unfortunately passed on. He then got married for the second time and now having 4 children. At the moment, Kazoora does consultancy in the Great Lakes region, a job which he earns a living. Maurice Ochol, NTV.